This video isn't some feel-good pat on the back for the spoiled princess who thinks every guy should revolve around her ego like a satellite. It's not self-help fluff for the dude still sending good morning texts with heart emojis to someone who leaves him on red. This is raw surgery, no numbing, no mercy. It's for anyone fed up with being an emotional lapdog, tamed by the fear of rocking the boat. If you still believe the key is showering her with attention, affection, and always being there, buckle up. Because today I'm gonna show you why the more you give of yourself, the more she pulls away, and why the guy who shuts up, ignores her, and vanishes becomes her addiction. Welcome to the real world where indifference is the ultimate turn-on. She blew off your sweet message but flipped out because you didn't like her story. She turned down hanging out but lost it when you went radio silent. Funny, right? When you try hard, she ghosts you. When you ghost her, she hunts you down. And you still think women's desire makes cute sense? Wake up, man. You've been conditioned to please, to be the good guy, to show how present, loyal, and eager you are. They just forgot to mention that for most women these days, that screams boring. What they say they want and what actually gets under their skin are worlds apart. She'll post about wanting a sincere, caring, attentive man. But when one shows up, she friend zones him hard. And the guy who barely replies dips out and doesn't give a damn. He's the hot topic at girls' night. Because deep down, she doesn't want a knight in shining armor. She wants an emotional roller coaster with a side of disdain. She craves someone she can't pin down. If you haven't gotten that yet, you'll keep racking up rejections while she chases the jerk who doesn't even say good morning. Today, you'll get why women fall for the guys who treat them like they're not the center of the universe. Because at the end of the day, what they really want is someone who won't bow to the throne they've built for themselves. From day one, they fed you that lame fairy tale. Show her, be there, make her your priority, and she'll value you. And like a straight-A student, you followed it to the letter, gave her attention, time, energy, availability, everything. What did you get back? Left on scene, replied to whenever, buried in her notifications. Here's the truth no one had the guts to drop. Too much attention doesn't draw her in. It bores her. Nothing kills the spark like a guy who's always on call. She doesn't cherish what's overflowing. She treasures what's about to slip away. While you're out there proving how much she means to you, the dude who forgot she exists is the one looping in her head before bed. Not because he's better, it's because he didn't hand over the goods on the first hit. The issue isn't giving attention. It's handing it out for free. No standards, no self-respect, no pride, like your life's a shrine to her mood swings. The irony's delicious. Treat her like priority 1, and she treats you like option 5. You push, she chills. You get close, she backs off. But stop feeding her ego and suddenly she's starving. Thinking constant attention wins her over is like thinking dumping sugar on someone sparks desire. It just makes them sick. And you've become that. Too sweet to crave, too perfect to remember, too reliable to fight for. While you keep proving your worth with presence, she proves she doesn't want you with her absence. Women don't crave what's right there. They lust after what's out of reach. Desire is hunger, and no one's hungry with a full plate. The scarcer you are, the more she fills in the blanks. The more mysterious, the more she daydreams. Female desire thrives on absence, not presence. It's in the quiet that she pictures you, in the uncertainty that she reaches out, in the void that she spins versions of you even you couldn't pull off. It's harsh but true. Constant presence dulls the edge. The guy who's always around blends into the background, not the plot. You become scenery, not the star, but the one who vanishes, who doesn't explain, who doesn't reply right away. He turns into a puzzle, and puzzles breed obsession. It's biology, psychology, emotion. Scarcity flips the hunter switch. She doesn't want what surrenders, she wants what demands effort. Because what demands has worth. What overflows turns into a freebie. You weren't built to be a handout. You were made to be craved like something hard to get. To do that, learn to ghost. Be a bit more absent. Be selectively present, because the more you show up, the less she misses you. And a woman who doesn't miss you will never respect you. Women don't care what you say, they want to see if you crack. Every chat, every ghosting, Every move is a probe, testing your emotional grip. It's a sneak test, a simulation, an experiment, and you're the lab rat. She delays her reply, just to see if you freak. She posts a pic, just to gauge your vibe. She mentions another guy, just to watch you unravel. The female mind plays in the psych arena. And deep down, what she wants to know is simple. Does this guy rattle? If he does, she checks out. If he overreacts, respect tanks. Because every woman, on some level, admires the man who stays solid under fire. Cool, unshakable, not from ego, from self-awareness. Because losing control, hands over power, reacting, gives you away. And easy surrender makes you an emotional toy. She'll test you, yeah. Provoke, drop hints, vanish. It's all filtering. She needs to know if you're worth the emotional bet. If you're the type who folds quick, you're just another letdown on her list. But if you're the man who doesn't need to prove squat, who skips emotional traps, who knows his worth, then you're unforgettable. Not for being nice, for being rare. That's when the tables turn. When you shut up, she has to fill the quiet with her own stories. When you dip, she spins tales to explain why. The guy who ghosts coldly leaves a gap, and that gap hurts because she can't control it, predict it, get it. Anything the mind can't grasp, it tries to conquer with fantasy. She starts wondering, did he move on? Is there someone else? Did he ever care? Each question pricks her ego. Because the man who vanishes without fanfare, no excuses, no drama, becomes a riddle, and riddles trump any love proof. She might act like she doesn't care, post stories, hang with friends, look thriving, but inside, she's decoding your silence, hunting for reasons in your absence, searching for logic where there's only strategy. What wounds a woman isn't outright rejection. It's the quiet exit of a guy she thought she had wrapped around her finger. In that instant, you're no average Joe. You're an emotional ghost, a name echoing in her head without a word. And that is the kind of ache no fresh light can fix. The mistake most guys make is thinking always being available proves love. Nah, it proves boredom. Too much access kills the mystery. No mystery, no curiosity, no curiosity, no desire. She might claim she loves attention, affection, being around, but the brutal truth, the more you're there, the more she checks out. Humans only value what they might lose. If you're the one replying in seconds, always on deck, never flaking, she stops seeing your worth. You become routine. And routine doesn't spike adrenaline, doesn't spark fascination, doesn't give butterflies. When her heart stops racing for you, she hunts thrills elsewhere. That's why the guy who gives in too fast fades out. She feels like she knows you inside out, and the overfamiliar gets ditched easy. The secret isn't ghosting for revenge. It's rationing access to keep the punch. Because the man who owns his time becomes rare, and rare never gets treated like ordinary. There's a dark truth few guys face. Some women don't want the man. They want the chase he reps. When the chase ends, so does the spark. Sounds nuts, but some only get fired up when they sense loss. Only attach when ignored. Only perk up when you seem indifferent. And this ain't about love. It's ego. Emotional addiction masquerading as passion. Folks who've mixed up pain with affection, rejection with attachment, indifference with desire. Enter the paradox. The more you love, the less she wants. But ghost her, and the script flips. She chases, hunts, freaks, not from love. From hating lost control. In this twisted game, guys get lost, proving love to someone who only vibes on disdain. Handing everything to someone who only values what's missing. While you stay steady, she'll always pick the chaos, because chaos brews emotion, and the predictable guy, no matter how solid, brews nothing. Nothing hits a woman harder than the silence from a guy who used to shout from the rooftops. Because when you ghost, you become doubt. Mystery. You take up space, even gone. For a mind craving control, that's torture. Silence is the slickest weapon a man can wield. It doesn't accuse, beg, or explain. It just lets absence grind quietly in her head. As time ticks, she feels it more. Unlike words, silence has no cap. It echoes, sparks questions, shatters certainties. That's how you become unforgettable. Not from overload, from scarcity. The man who shuts up at peak disdain. turns enigma, and women hate riddles they can't solve themselves. While you talked, she tuned out. While you explained, she brushed off. But the second you went quiet, everything shifts. Silence doesn't yell, but it stings. Because in it, she realizes she lost the one guy brave enough to ghost. Before begging, the more you chase, the more she bolts. The more you bear it all, the more she distances. It's inverted psych warfare where the guy who wants too much loses stock, and the one who ignores gracefully becomes obsession. Because female desire doesn't sprout from easy gifts. It grows from struggle, challenge, scarcity. Women don't fall for presents. They get hooked on uncertainty. The nice guy's flop is believing love wins by being predictable, steady, on call. But reality bites. Predictability doesn't attract. It bores. What pulls is the wild card, the puzzle, the man who won't bend for scraps, the one who shows interest, then vanishes. That's the guy she wants to crack. Because what doesn't surrender easy tortures her ego deliciously. She starts weaving stories, assumptions, inner dramas, all because you didn't flop like the rest. That's where the addiction kicks in. Not to you, to the void you leave. She doesn't read your kindness as love proof. She sees it as neediness. When you're too good, too attentive, too available, she doesn't think, what a catch. She thinks, why is he so desperate to please? That's where your emotional plan crumbles. Because overload affection before she's earned it doesn't scream strength. It whispers weakness. It's the vibe that outs your vulnerability before she really knows you. What should have charmed flags as red. The more you give, the more she probes. Women test when they smell control. And unearned affection opens the door to quiet disrespect. You go from intriguing to predictable. From strong to puppet. She doesn't want conscious control. She wants raw emotion. And freebie affection doesn't stir. It breeds May. It's not missing you. It's bruised ego. Not love. It's withdrawal from power. When you ghost, she doesn't flip because she loves you. She flips because she lost her emotional grip on you. Like yanking a toy from a brat. The tantrum's not about value. It's about lost reign. The colder your absence, the louder her bids to hit you. First silence. Then subtle jabs. When that flops, the drama ramps. Hints, mockery, calculated stories, jealousy bait. But none stem from real feels. It's panic to reclaim manipulation. The woman who truly misses you reaches with humility. The one who just lost control yanks with theatrics. And you watch quietly. Because a man who's learned his absence's worth won't sell out cheap to puff anyone's ego. She'll feel it. Whine. Try strikes. But nothing wrecks a narcissistic woman like the man who's mastered classy ignore. That day doesn't start with your text. It starts with ignoring her void. Not when she says, I miss you. It's when you don't reply. Not when she tries crawling back. It's when you're gone. For real. No games. No relapse. No rehearsal comeback. The day she gets she's lost you is when her silence doesn't faze you. When her looks don't mesmerize. When you read her message and feel zip. Right then she sees the flip. Because the predictable guy turned puzzle. The chaser now walks solo. The over-responder now answers with distance. No ache hits harder for a control freak woman than realizing her emotional toy became a man who won't return. She might blame you, poke, call you cold, but deep down, it's not missing. It's dread of lost power. And that, bro, is the iciest revenge. You don't need to flex. No shady posts, no proving. Because while she's faking happy, you become the ghost haunting her thoughts effortless. Your silence hurts. Your absence weighs. The fact you vanished. And she can't erase you. Every woman has that name she can't shake. That memory crashing uninvited. And now you're it. Not from revenge. From growth. You didn't become unforgettable on purpose. You did. Because you were real. Gave it all. Kept it genuine in a fake world. When a guy like that walks, he leaves a hole no one fills. The new fling might be hot, fun, seem ideal, but in the dead of night, it's your name she dodges. The irony? You feel nothing. What was pain turned peace. What was cling turned lesson. What was ache turned freedom. Being unforgettable ain't effort. It's fallout from being the one she didn't value. She doesn't miss you right off. She misses the control she had. At first, she plays it cool. Acts fine, moved on. But time turns silence into a mirror. And what reflects is losing a guy who was presence, shield, all in. What stings most? No more access. No more tests. No more counting on your bruised ego to chase. Because now, you get the game. You broke the loop, shattered the pattern. Her ego crumbles. She'll provoke, dangle crumbs, probe for power. But you don't bite. Not from pride, from clarity. Silence isn't payback. It's insight. Proof you finally see love without respect is jail dressed as care. Now, she deals with her own void. No guide, no reins, no you. The truth's savage, but gotta say it. Women don't respect what they own, what they can read, predict, bend. The guy who over-explains, over-gives, replies lightning fast, stays on call, mirrors her boredom. She might claim she digs affection, attention, romance. But deep, what twists her is doubt, mystery, absence without warning. The man she can't crack. Why? Her instincts skip predictability. They crave what threatens control, what pushes her emotional edges, what won't bend for fake presence. So when you pull back, ghost, shut up. It's not just gone. It's value signal. Quiet claim you don't need her. Then the game shifts. Because every woman needs a man she can't puppet. If you become that, congrats. You're no emotional add-on. You're her boundary. When you ghost, she misses you. But stay ice cold. She feels disdain's weight. And that man crushes her ego. Women get used to the guy who ghosts and rebounds. Pulls away but still bites. Says I'm done but lurks stories. But the one who ignores with style, who sees but skips, reads but ghosts, he shatters her sight game. Because disdain's a code pride can't hack. No comeback. No end. No scene. Just quiet. And ongoing silence turns pain. A unique sting. Not missing. Humiliation. Control crash. Realizing she lost. Not just you, but the hit power. For a vain woman, that's hell. So hear me, real poison ain't ghosting. It's staying around but untouchable. Funny how she always expected your reply. Justification. Vent. Apology. Because deep, she knew you were the over-talker, over-explainer, over-feeler. But now tables flipped. You stopped responding. And that nukes her ego more than any rant. Silence is your new vibe. Each absence worth 1,000 fights. She still drops hints thinking you'll bite the emotional bait. Sends that hey stranger, figuring affection revives with a ping. But you ignore, because you got it. In unbalanced ties, shutting up makes her hear herself. And the noise echoes her guilt. The man who learns no reacts, no justifies, no bites emotional hooks, becomes a non-stop nightmare for her controller side. You don't need blocks, deletes, replies, your silence shields. Each non-react day, non-reply, non-relapse. She feels, won't admit, but feels. And you stay mute. Because emotional maturity means skipping games you know end bad. You've wasted enough trying to be understood. Proving worth, showing you're different. Loved real. Didn't deserve average treatment. But that's over. Because today you get the woman needing constant explains. Never saw you true. The one who does. Needs no words. She feels, recognizes, respects. Your silence now ain't grudge. It's wisdom, armor. From bleeding too much, being kind to folks, mixing love with weakness. Now, every past pull, you serve disdain. Every provoke, absence. Every reaction probe, disinterest. Because the man waking from emotional haze turns mystery. And mystery guts the ego of a woman who thought she had you figured. Congrats. You're not the beggar crying for attention. You're the one she watches quiet, wondering where she lost grip. Answers in your new stance. Ice. Deadly. Off limits.